Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're digging into a really interesting source one of you sent over.
Oh, yeah. What have we got?
It's called Blazeflare, Guardian of the Flame. It's about a character, Kaia Ryden, in this volcanic setting.
Okay. Sounds intriguing. Volcanic region, elemental stuff, maybe?
Exactly. It's a blend, really. Part origin story, part big elemental conflict.
Cool. So what's our mission here? What are we trying to uncover?
Well, I think we should explore how Kaia actually becomes Blazeflare, her transformation, and then look at the main fight she gets drawn into.
Got it. Exploring the core change and the central struggle. Makes sense. These kinds of stories, they often tap into some fundamental ideas.
Yeah, about change, about opposition. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Kaia's origin.
Right. She grows up where?
In the Firelands. Apparently with her grandmother, who's a volcanologist.
Ah, okay. So she's surrounded by fire, magma, all that from the start. A deep connection, probably.
Seems like it. And then there's this pivotal moment. Something happens in a lava tube. She finds this thing called the flame core.
The flame core. Sounds important. Like a catalyst, maybe?
Pretty much, yeah. But instead of, getting burned or worse.
She gets powers. Fire powers, I'm guessing?
You got it. And there's this detail, her eyes start glowing. It's a real visual sign of that internal shift.
Classic trope, but effective. That moment where the extraordinary breaks into the ordinary, it really captures that common fantasy, doesn't it? Finding power in unexpected places.
It does. And it's not like it just happens to her passively. Kaia makes a choice. She wants to understand these powers, control them.
Good. Active protagonist. So what does she do?
She puts together a costume, armor, red and orange, naturally.
Makes sense. Fits the theme.
Flame motifs, even a fiery cape. It's all very symbolic. Like you said about change, this feels like rebirth.
Visual storytelling. And then she needs a name, right?
Right. She chooses Blazeflare.
Blazeflare. Okay. Sets the tone.
Right.
And presumably she starts using these powers.
Yep. Starts small, protecting local villages, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Builds up her reputation.
Establishing herself as a hero. Standard journey, but the elemental setting gives it a unique flavor.
But then the conflict really ramps up. An antagonist emerges.
Ah, the counterforce. Who is it?
A being or force called Frostbane. And Frostbane's goal is eternal ice.
Ooh, okay. Direct opposition. Fire versus ice. Doesn't get much more elemental than that.
Seriously, it's the core conflict. Pure elemental clash.
It's such a primal conflict, isn't it? Fire represents warmth, life, change, while eternal ice is like stasis, cold, nothingness.
Yeah, and Frostbane keeps getting stronger. Blazeflare realizes, just blasting fire isn't going to cut it.
Right. The realization that brute force has limits, that's a key moment for character growth. So she needs a different approach.
Exactly. She actually starts researching, looking into old texts, seeking guidance from elemental spirits.
Interesting. Adds a layer of lore, maybe some mysticism, finding wisdom beyond just power.
And this leads her to a specific technique, or maybe a concept, the Solar Heart Inferno.
Solar Heart Inferno. Sounds powerful. The key to stopping Frostbane.
That's the idea. But it's not just about raw power. The texts say it needs incredible focus, inner harmony.
Ah, so it's an internal journey, too. Mastering herself to master the power. That's compelling. It suggests real strength isn't just external, it's discipline, focus.
Right, so she trains, really works on achieving that harmony.
The training montage part. Got it.
Pretty much. And it all leads to the final showdown. They fight on these icy peaks, like Frostbane's home turf.
Maximum disadvantage for Blazeflare, maximum advantage for Frostbane, high stakes.
Totally. And she finally unleashes it, the Solar Heart Inferno.
And what's it like?
It's described as this huge blaze shaped like a phoenix.
A phoenix, wow. Okay, the symbolism there is huge. Rebirth, renewal, hope, rising from the ashes, or in this case, the ice.
Exactly. It's the perfect counter to Frostbane's eternal winter thing. It represents warmth, hope, life coming back.
So this technique, it doesn't just destroy, it sort of renews. It weakens Frostbane enough.
Yeah, it weakens Frostbane significantly, leading to the defeat. Balance is restored.
A satisfying resolution to that elemental clash.
And then afterwards, Kaia returns to the Firelands.
Back home, but changed, obviously.
Definitely. She's still Kaia, but she's also Blazeflare now. The Guardian. A beacon of hope, this story says.
A completed journey, in a sense, but also the start of a new role.
So, yeah, boiling it down, it's about this ordinary person getting these incredible powers.
And then finding the inner strength, the focus, to use them effectively against this massive elemental threat.
Like a cool narrative structure.
Absolutely. And that fire and ice dynamic, it's just so resonant. It speaks to those fundamental opposing forces we see everywhere.
It really does. So maybe something for you listening to think about. That symbolism, fire and ice, opposites creating conflict, but also resolution.
Yeah, what other kinds of clashes, maybe elemental, maybe conceptual, stick with you? And thinking about Kaia's journey.
What kind of inner fire, maybe, do you need to face your own challenges?
Definitely something to mull over. It connects the fantasy back to something quite personal.
Well put. Thanks for digging into this one with us today.